Hey guys, a couple of people have asked if the cat lady from the cat protection group, let's call her the cat inspector, a couple of people asked if the cat inspector had been back yet and approved us to keep the cat. Yes, she has, thank goodness that's over. So we had to put that silly barrier back on that room. You know, we had the silly barrier that the cat could just jump over, but she'd insisted that we put it there, so we had to put it back. We took it away last week because obviously it served no purpose, but because she said we had to do it before she came, we knew she was coming 2 o'clock, so before she came I put it back up again. Absolutely pointless, just hoping the cat wouldn't jump over it while she was there. The other silly thing I didn't mention in the previous videos is we had to keep a logbook. We had to keep a logbook of, so we had to feed the cat a certain number of grams of food at certain times of the day. There were 3 times a day we had to feed the cat a certain number of grams of food. And we had to keep a log. We had to keep a logbook of what we fed the cat, how many grams of food at what time, just to make sure we were keeping to the schedule. And then we had to keep a logbook of every time the cat went to the toilet, right? So if it did wheeze or if it did poos, we had to write down. Right? When I say we, I don't participate in that sort of nonsense, right? So another family member who does participate in that sort of nonsense. That's the difference between Japanese and Western thinking. Japanese thinking is if you're told by someone who's supposed to be an authority on such things. Now, my thinking is if the cat inspector thinks that a 1 meter barrier is going to stop a cat going somewhere, then the cat inspector is not really an expert in cats, right? But Japanese thinking is if someone is being held out as an expert on something, you just do whatever silly thing they tell you to do. You don't go and think about it and think, wait a moment, that's not logical. That's not what Japanese people do. The cat inspector said, you have to keep this logbook. And so she did. And so every time the cat crapped or pissed, it got written in the logbook. It got written on the logbook, right? So the cat inspector came. Now I've got to tell you, as I mentioned in a previous video, when it comes to silly stuff like this, you either have to be really tolerant and really patient, or you have to, it's better if you can, just get away, right? So when there's really silly stuff like this going on, if I don't have to be there, I go somewhere else, because it's just better. You know, the other family members are Japanese, so they can handle that sort of stuff with great patience and politeness. So it's better for me just to go somewhere else. So I made sure I had some plans just before she turned up, and I went, oh, right, I've got to go now. And I took off for an hour and came back after she'd gone. So apparently she came and inspected the house to see what measures we'd put in place. So the barrier and there's other silly things. There's other barriers put up around the place and other pointless stuff. The armoring, the metal armoring put around the hamster cage. And inspected the logbook. Inspected the logbook to see that we'd been keeping a log of all the stuff that had been going on, right? The poo log, we could call it the log, couldn't we? Poos and wheeze and how much it ate and whether it had been drinking and all that sort of stuff. Inspected the cat for its condition, which is extremely good, actually. The cat's really doing well. So yes, she approved that we had been doing sufficient. So she then, we then gave her Neiman, which is about $200 for the cat, and she's gone, and that's it now. We no more cat inspector, thank goodness for that. So that bit of craziness is done. So there's the answer to that question we had a couple of times there. Has the cat lady been? Yes, she's been, and it's done, and it's finished, and the cat's ours. So the cat's doing pretty well. Have a look for yourself. So he does sometimes still get a little bit nervous and a little bit bitey, but overall much more relaxed, very happy, eating really well. He gets lots of brushing. He likes being brushed, which is a good thing, so fur's in good condition. So slightly more relaxed, still gets a bit tense when the old man's around, but if the old man's gentle and slow, he relaxes a bit. Occasional little nip. He nips everybody now and again and scratches, but he's getting better. It's working. He's settling in. much happier than he was, much better life than he had before. Paradise he's living in now. More videos coming soon.